I'm Haley Taylor, and you're listening to The Rough Draft Diaries. This week on The Rough Draft Diaries, we're meeting with an attorney. But it's not like that. We're not in trouble or anything.
My name is Sarah Scow, and I am an attorney with the law firm of Spengler-Nathanson in downtown Toledo.
It's interesting to note that this is the first time I've ever met with an attorney, which is probably a good thing. But even on a personal level, none of my friends were interested in studying law. None of my parents' friends were attorneys or lawyers. So meeting with Sarah puts me in unfamiliar territory, which is kind of fun because I'm learning a lot. And the first thing I learned was that Sarah is very busy.
I do what's considered to be civil defense work primarily, although I do some work also on behalf of plaintiffs. The type of issues I take on: business litigation, so contract disputes, business partners who might not see things the same way, family-oriented businesses where folks may have seen a company going in different directions. Also some civil rights cases, constitutional issues, defamation, vendor disputes, products liability cases. I also deal with domestic violence representation.
We could go on, and Sarah likes this. She likes that her to-do list changes from her day to day. But what I'm really interested in is not just her day-to-day to-do list, but also how she got that to-do list, how she became an attorney in the first place.
At first, I wasn't convinced that I would be an attorney. Since as early as I can remember, I wanted to be a storyteller. And for a period of time when I was at the University of Michigan, I was a communications and an English double major, and so I thought I might be on your side of the microphone. My graduation year was in 2002, so right as September 11th happened, and so then it was, well, what am I going to do now? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And the job market really came to a halt. And where I went was to take the LSAT and keep the score for a few years until I figured the rest out.
Sarah kept that score for a few years while living in Chicago, working for a charter school for troubled teens. She found that she loved advocating for these teens who thought they didn't have many opportunities ahead of them. And she wondered how she could somehow combine her love of storytelling with her love for advocacy.
Late at night, one night I applied to the University of Toledo College of Law online, and it ended up being the best fit for me to try out in a very economical way with the very talented faculty that they had there, to see if law school really was the way to combine the advocacy that I'd really become interested and focused in with the writing and the storytelling that I'd always been drawn to.
Now, law school may sound like an odd solution to someone who is interested in pursuing storytelling and advocacy. At least it is to me. It probably would not be my first option if someone were seeking career advice, but Sarah assures me that law school was the right answer.
I think the storytelling side, it's from the listening, the asking, probing questions, getting to know your clients. There's no better way for you to be prepared than to learn everything you can about your clients. Who are the people you're serving? What are the goals that you have for yourself? How did you get started? You know, the who, what, where, when, why, and how that I learned way back in a creative writing class. But a lot of what we do is in written form. So a lot of my craft is honing and practicing, putting things in plain English, trying to be as persuasive as you can be as an advocate, but also understanding and anticipating what the other side's arguments are going to be. And then telling the story effectively. In the trial context, you're often telling those stories to the jury, figuring out what's going to resonate with. It very much resonates with the storytelling side that I have.
Hearing Sarah describe her job makes it sound like it was the perfect fit. that she was always meant to be an attorney, she just had to take the time to find it. And I wondered if she felt the same way, if she felt that it was always her destiny to become an attorney.
I can say I'm not surprised. I can look back now and say I'm not surprised. I was very idealistic and still am, and I wasn't sure how that idealism would translate into the law, but I really have found that it's a great way for me to use my skill sets, both with people and with writing and storytelling, to be in a profession and something that's ethically obligated, to have the privilege to tend to others. It really appeals to my romantic side, and that some people might miss, but I really take it seriously.
I'm Haley Taylor, and thanks for listening to this episode of the Rough Draft Diaries.